And sorry that I cannot help in speaking Slovenian. I'm not yet at that level, but I'm very pleased to join this INSPIRE conference at the national level in Slovenia. Even if it's not anymore, if INSPIRE is not anymore in my daily activities. I used to work for the Joint Research Center for 15 years, and I was working in the unit, and that was in charge of the technical implementation of INSPIRE. So I keep following the progress, and I'm very pleased to see that Slovenia is among the leaders in implementing the directive and participating to its modernization. So the presentation I will deliver now is about something a bit different, but that relates closely to INSPIRE. It's about this EuroGeo initiative, which is the contribution of Europe to the GEO initiative, the Group on Earth observation, which is a way to organize a bit how Europe can contribute to GEO, not only contribute, but as well taking advantage of the know, the expertise, the data, and the knowledge generated by this initiative. I will as well cover the Horizon Europe framework program, and we are responsible of an area of intervention under Cluster 6, which is named environmental observation. And you will see that there are certainly opportunities that your community might be interested in joining some of the consortium that will bid for some of those topics. So let's move to the next slide. Yes. Okay, do you see the next slide? Yes. Okay, so what is EuroGeo about? This is, as I was mentioning in introduction, delivering an integrated European contribution to GEOS and increasing the benefits for Europe of participating in that initiative. So basically, we are acting a bit as an incubator to produce and test Earth observation service and applications in cooperation with Copernicus, the European countries, and the participating organization in GEO. We are as well working on delivering specific Earth observation application and benefiting from integrating global data sets made available through GEOS and what is available at the European level, and in particular, I will come back to that, the Copernicus program. We are working in the direction of promoting, scaling up, and developing Earth observation application in association with the user and building on the Copernicus assets, the data and information access service, the DIAS, and the research that are made available through our framework program. Of course, we can basically summarize, it's not about creating technical infrastructure like the INSPIRE GeoPortal. It's really a framework for cooperation, coordination of activities, and helping combining better all the assets that might come from Earth observation, from in situ data, from citizen science data, etc. Move to the next slide. This is a relatively ambitious initiative, and so what are our means at our disposal to translate our ambitions into effective actions? It's essentially most of our work is on mobilizing the research and innovation funds made available via our research program, Horizon Europe. It's mobilizing and bringing together the stakeholders through voluntary-based action groups to develop pre-operational service out of the Earth observation data, taking advantage of our very powerful European space program, and in particular the Copernicus component. Of course, we want to influence as well GEO. It's not only about taking advantage of the GEO assets, but we want as well to develop to be part of the work program of GEO and discuss with other regional initiatives like in America, Africa, and Asia to exchange experience. Where do we stand at the moment? Okay, we managed somehow to bring together decades of public investment in Earth observation and in cloud capabilities to turn them into service for the decision makers, the citizens, the industry, and the research. We allow doing so to position Europe itself as a global force in Earth observation by leveraging Copernicus, making use of your existing European capabilities and improving the user uptake of the data from the GEO assets. We have, for the time being, still from the Horizon 2020 program, about 24 ongoing projects representing more than 170 million euros. We have projects under preparation for, you see, 37 million euros, and we are leveraging the heritage from a recently closed project. We are working as well on the next Horizon Europe program. We published in July the first work program and invite you to consult this fact sheet that was published in July that give you a bit a list of what are the funding opportunities available for Earth and environmental observation. We managed to include about 20 topics that refer directly to GEOS. They are essentially under cluster 6, but you find them under clusters 4 and 5. We had an info day on cluster 6 in just 2 weeks ago, 25, 26 of October, and the recordings are available when you will share the presentation. We will have the link available. And we are working already now on the first preparatory steps for the next work program iteration that will cover the year 23 and 24. For your information, still open and with a deadline in February. We have 3 calls open, and I think that the first one can certainly be of interest to your community on the new technologies for acquiring in-situ observation data sets to address climate change effect. You see that we have secured a budget of a total budget of 20 million, but we expect that each project will be around 3 million. We have another one which is on the uptake and validation of citizen observation to complement authoritative measurements within the urban environment and boost related citizen engagement. And we talk authoritative measurements, you know, that is refer as well to the data generated by the national mapping agencies. And the third topic is a bit more specific, but it came as a follow-up of the COVID crisis on environmental observation solutions contributing to meeting One Health challenge. Example of projects that have been funded under the Horizon 2020 program. We have this Cordis result packs that shows a bit what has been done and what are the outcomes of some of the key projects we have funded in the past years. Now, how do we organize ourselves? We have a very thin governance structure based on the current GEO high-level working group, which involves all members of the GEO European caucus and oversee the GEOS implementation from a European perspective. You see that most of the European countries are members beside Lithuania and unfortunately a number of countries from Southeast Europe and from the Balkans. So we coordinate our activities through a coordination group chaired by the Commission between DG RTD and DG Defense, Industry and Space, DEFIS. And it comprises GEO members and participating organizations from the European caucus. So this group oversees the implementation of EuroGEO strategic action, assess progress against state objectives, and regularly report to the GEO high-level working group And then we have these voluntary-based implementation or action groups that are identified by the coordination group to manage the implementation needs arising from the Eurogeo strategic actions. So how can we work together and get the mapping agency and the public agency, but as well the private sector getting engaged in Eurogeo by contributing to the drafting of the next implementation plan of Eurogeo and the other Geo activities for the next work program phase that will cover the years 23 to 25. As I mentioned, there are opportunities to join consortia bidding for Horizon Europe topics. So the 2022 calls just opened on the 28th of October with the deadline on the 15th of February. So you still have a few months ahead to join the consortium and bid for one of those open calls. You can as well participate to the Eurogeo Geo events. So we had our annual Eurogeo workshop end of September. All the presentations are available online. If you Google Eurogeo Workshop 2021, you will find them on the website of the REA agency, the Research Executive Agency. Next week, we will have our annual Geo plenary that will take place as a virtual event. And again, if you go on the Geo website, you will find the interesting agenda that has been scheduled for that conference. Of course, Geo, it's a community activities and a voluntary base. You have member countries like Slovenia is member of Geo, but you have as well participating organization, and Eurogeographics and Eurogeo Service are both participating organization in Geo. So it's a good way as well to participate in the shaping of the Geo initiative. And then I invite you to look at the very rich work program of the Geo activities in the current work program. And I think that was my last slide. Thank you for your attention.